What is your dream project that you aspire to create?
I've written it already, actually.
Ooh, okay. Tell us about it.
It's a sitcom. It's called Suck This, and I've written both parts, the part 1 and part 2, the pilot.
Okay.
I've written the final scene, and I've written a 10-episode story arc, first season story arc.
Fuck yeah.
Logline?
You know what? Yeah, I don't know the log line yet, honestly.
Well,
but
why is it called Suck This? What's it about? Where does it take place?
It's based on my experience working in a sex shop.
In a sex shop?
Yes.
Nice.
Interesting.
How long did you work in the sex shop? Personally?
Too long.
Too long?
Long enough to get a really good education, but not long enough to try on crotchless panties. Does that make sense?
Well, there's still time.
I guess. I don't know
Right?
how much time that is.
I don't know that period of time. Yeah.
So you've written it. So what's next? What's the next step in the process? Where is it at? What we're gonna manifest?
I have some people reading the pilot. Like I sent the pilot out to some people. Actually, nifty story. The first version of the pilot I sent to a very well-known creator who may or may not have been involved in House and The Good Doctor.
Ooh,
nice.
And he actually sent me notes.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah. And then several years, 3 years ago, just before COVID, I was down in Costa Rica with my friend and her family, and her stepbrother happens to be a really well-known Indigenous filmmaker, Shane Belcourt. I don't know if I can say his name. Anyway, he, we were like sitting around one night, and I was bragging. I'm like, yeah, well, so-and-so read my pilot, and he's like, I'd like to read your pilot. And it's one thing for someone on the other side of the continent that you don't know and have never met to read your pilot and give you notes on it. But it's quite another thing when someone that you know and you admire and who you know is really good at what they do, you read it. And so he read it. And then the next day we're sitting on the beach and he's like, I have notes for you. And I'm like, okay. And he freely gave of his time and his knowledge and cracked it open like a freaking nut. And when I came home, I rewrote the pilot so that it is what it is today. It is what it is today because of him and his questions and his ideas and his thoughts. And so, yeah, so, you know, it's so it's putting together a pitch deck.
Get it? Well, put it out there.
Right.
Just so you know, many things that have been iterated on this podcast come true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
Is what we do.
Yeah.
This is just
I love, and I guess the other thing, I love writing. Like I love script writing. I love all of it. Like you know, the treatment part of it, the idea part of it, the scene part of it. I love all of that stuff too. So that really gets me jazzed. So it's neat to also go in and see what other people are writing.